Okay, so when it comes to actually calculating, you want to do your division with an estimate so that you don't make a careless mistake. As this says, divide, but estimate to place the decimal point. That way you're going to make sure that you're not putting it in the wrong spot and being off by a power of 10. A factor of 10, that would be terrible. So what we're going to do is estimate first. This, I'll go green on this. This is about what? 3.9 divided by 0.6 is about 4 divided by 1, approximately. So some of you may realize that doing front-end estimation isn't going to work when you cut it off. You get 3 divided by 0, it's not really going to work. So what we can do is round. So this is about 4 divided by 1. So it's going to be around, that's a squiggle equals 4. Right, so now we're going to actually do our long division, but what I'm going to do is make sure that I do not have a decimal in my divisor. And what I like to do is think of it this way. Don't just blindly do it, but think of it. It's 3.9 divided by 0.6. Think of it as a fraction. Okay, but the thing that we have to do is make sure that our fraction doesn't have a decimal in it. You could even get rid of the decimal in the, to make sure our denominator doesn't have a decimal in it. You could actually get rid of the one in the numerator too. You don't always have to. In this case, we're going to. And to get rid of the decimal, remember, we have to make an equivalent fraction. So what I'm going to do is do some multiplication here. And as long as I multiply by the same number in the numerator and denominator, I'm going to get an equivalent fraction. So what have we learned about multiplying by 10? It just moves the decimal to the right. So 3.9 times 10 gives me 39. 6.6 times 10 gives me 6. And now I have a division question that's a lot easier for me to do. 39 divided by 6. 6 goes into 39 6 times. Now if you're doing short division, that's fine. This is just kind of my style. And there's a cool Korean version I've seen once too. Whatever you like. Now 6 goes into 35 times, and we're going to end up with a remainder of 0, which tells me I'm done. So the answer to 6a is 65. Okay? What we did was turned it from, got rid of the decimals and turned it into a very simple division question. Okay, now on this one, we have to estimate first again, and this is important just so we can check with our work. 6.2 divided by 0.8 is about 6 divided by 1. It's about that. And so we are expecting something around 6. Okay, so now we can actually think of it as a fraction, 6.2 over 0.8. Remember, we want to make an equivalent fraction so that at least we don't have a decimal in the denominator. So what do we have to do? Multiply both the numerator and denominator by the same number. And in decimals, we learned from up above, if you multiply by 10, you can move that decimal to the right, effectively getting rid of it. So if we multiply by 10, numerator and denominator, we get 62 in the numerator and 8 in the denominator. Now we have a very straightforward division question. So 8 going to 62, yep, 7 times. And here we have a remainder of 6. Bring down to 0, so 8 going to 60. So I can draw this out a little bit. So here's where we do not have any remainder. We have to add a decimal point at this point. Okay, and then when you have a decimal in your dividend, that's fine. All you have to do is bring it up. Okay, so we're going to have 7 point something. And that fits with our estimate. So does 8 going to 60? You bet. 7 times. Now I'm running out of space here. 4, bring down to 0. 8 goes into 40 5 times. So there we have our answer, 7.75. Is it around 6? Yeah. So I know I have my decimal in the correct place at least. So there we go. That's how you can use estimation and then actual long division to do your calculation. But always try to think of it as an equivalent fraction where you get rid of the decimal out of the denominator at least. You may still have it in the numerator. But as long as you have it out of the denominator, you'll be fine replacing the decimal. That's it. Try to do the worksheet, both sides.